Hey guys, so I'm here today to film I don't really call it a rant video because I'm mad, but it's not as mad as like my ColourPop videos where they were fucking me around. It's more so like, I wanted to educate people on a shady business practice, especially any international customers, especially any Canadian customers that are ordering from Morphe, because they changed their shipping provider a few months ago and it's causing some problems. So I'm not one of those people that like hates on Morphe for mass producing brushes in China and getting influencers to push them. Like, I can totally respect people who are just like sick of hearing the words Morphe come out of influencers' mouths. But I also understand, you know, the brushes are decent, they're inexpensive. I mean, I think any influencer can afford better brushes, and there are better brushes out there. Like, Morphe is not the be all and end all of brushes, but for an everyday consumer, I totally understand that they are an inexpensive brand and the brushes are pretty decent. I reach for some of mine sometimes, but like, they're not life-changing. Regardless, I am a sucker to the hype. I always fall for the hype, which means that on June 21st, I was on MorpheBrushes.com at 10:45 refreshing for that motherfucking Jaclyn Hill palette. Oh, and I got it. I was one of the lucky ones who got it on launch day because I was resilient. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I like the palette. I really don't think it's worth what I paid for it, being a Canadian customer. It's pretty and all, but for me personally, I have cool toned skin, so I don't love warm eyeshadows that much. I do love a lot of these colors. I love the red toned warms and I love the brights. They're a decent quality eyeshadow, but I will agree that Jaclyn Hill did not reformulate these shadows, which is what she made it sound like. So I waited online for this palette. So I went through the chaos of ordering this palette. I put it in my cart. I was in that weird checkout of death where you wasn't sure if your checkout was working or not, and it was like, don't refresh this page, and like a little spinning thing was in the middle, and you're like, I can't tell if this is working and I'm having anxiety. I did that whole situation. So the eyeshadow palette cost $38 US. I used a 10% coupon code. I used Jaclyn Hill's just because it felt like the right thing to do. So I saved $3.80, and then I got to the shipping section and my heart nearly stopped. There are two shipping options for Canadians. One is a 2-day express option for $23.67, or you have a 1-day priority option for $26.15. Now, I will say, the difference between the two isn't bad. An extra $3 for an extra day, that's a solid deal. However, back in February, I ordered the, Bronze Mocha palette when it came back in stock, along with their beauty sponge and a fan brush. Love the fan brush, definitely my favorite thing of that purchase. That's one of the few Morphe brushes that I actually love, is their fan brush. So I bought that. It was a $26 order, 26 US dollars, and shipping was $15.50. And I was like, that's like a pretty big difference. That's a $10 difference, and that's in US dollars. As a Canadian, you know, our dollar is fucking garbage, so every penny counts. And and then my package came so fast and I was so confused because I didn't really look at the 2-day express. I just clicked the cheapest shipping option, cried a little bit, and moved on with my life. So I got the package quickly. It came via FedEx, and I started thinking, previously when I ordered my palette, and when I've ordered from Morphe before, which I've ordered about 3 times from their website before, their stuff had come via USPS. Most companies that ship out of America and into Canada ship USPS, and then the USPS people transfer the package over to Canada Post, and then Canada Post gives you the package. If there's customs fees, Canada Post holds the package, you go pick up your package, you pay your customs fees, the end of the story. So I was kind of like, why the fuck would you upgrade to offering only a 2-day service for $23? That seems astronomical. Like, even the fact that Morphe doesn't offer free shipping in America, like, you have to spend $75. That's so much shit that you have to buy from Morphe because they're such an inexpensive brand. Like, even ColourPop offers free shipping over, I think it's $30. And they have free international shipping now over $50, I believe, which is such a good deal. Like, ColourPop, although they piss me off a lot, they have better shipping practices than Morphe, and I believe they used to use the same USPS option. That's what I'm pretty sure what ColourPop uses. It basically calculates your price of shipping based on the weight of your package, so the more you add, the price goes up. And it is a little bit steep, but I've paid like 20 bucks for shipping through ColourPop before, but I've ordered like, I think 25 lipsticks. Like, I was excessive. So I get that, and I'm like, okay, that was a whole thing. I mean, at least I got the package within 2 days, whatever. So that was on June, I guess, I ordered it June 21st, I got it a couple days later, whatever, moved on with my life. Then on July 18th, nearly a month after I ordered my package, I get a letter from FedEx that says that you owe us $17.84. And I was like, why do I owe FedEx money? First of all, if there were customs fees, I don't understand why they didn't have me pay it, because I had to go pick up my package from the FedEx store. I showed the guy my slip. He just gave me my package, had me sign something, and move on with my life. No one mentioned any customs fees. And then I looked at the breakdown on here, and it says that I'm being charged $6.54 for Canada HST, which would be the customs fees, bringing it into Canada, a $10 advancement fee, and then HST on the advancement fee, which is $1.30. So $11.30 of this invoice is bullshit charges. So I'm like, I get this, and I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. I already paid, like, I believe it was like $50 US for this package, which ends up being like $70 Canadian for this package. Like, I'm already a crazy person spending $70 on a fucking Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Like, it is not a $70 palette. It just isn't. Regardless, I already paid this for this palette, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What is this? So I start Googling, and people are telling me that advancement fee basically means because FedEx cleared customs for you and they paid your customs fee in advance for you, they are now charging me a $10 advancement fee because they paid that. My problem here is I never chose to use FedEx as a shipping provider. I did not ship a package via FedEx. I never entered into an agreement with FedEx as a company that they would pay duties on my behalf and that I would then pay them. So why should I have to pay a $10 advancement fee because Morphe has decided to use FedEx? And I am not naive enough to believe that Morphe doesn't know that FedEx is charging their customers these prices. Like, I know that I am not the first person to email Morphe and be like, what the fuck is this charge? And by the way, I emailed Morphe on July 20th, which was, I believe it was last Wednesday, but let me double check. Yeah, it was last Thursday. I emailed them July 20th and was like, I would like to know, one, why between February and July you changed your shipping provider to a faster yet way more expensive company. Like, you are not Kate Spade, you are not Ted Baker, you are an inexpensive brand, therefore you should be offering your customers an inexpensive shipping option, not raking them over the coals for fucking shipping. Like, the shipping was more than half the price of this fucking palette. So I emailed them being like, why did you change your shipping? I know you used to offer a UPS international version, or a USPS international version, and now you only offer FedEx. Number two, I know that you must be aware that that FedEx is charging your consumers $10, and I think that's ridiculous. And unless, first of all, Morphe should be covering that since that is the shipping provider that they are choosing to use. I have no problem covering my customs and duties. Like, I totally understand that I live in Canada, I have to abide by the Canadian government's laws. But you're using a shipping provider that has some shitty business practice where they pay my customs fee without telling me and then charge me an extra fee because they paid it for me. Fuck that. So I sent them that email on July 20th. It is now July 28th, and I have heard crickets from Morphe. So I was waiting to film this video until I heard back from Morphe, but it's been 7 business days, so I'm pretty sure they're just fucking not replying to me, which is a shitty business practice also. Further pissed me off. So I started Googling about this advancement fee and what the deal is, and I find an email template that someone in the UK has written that says, do not pay your advancement fee, send this email to FedEx. And this is what the email says. I just edited it to fit Canadian customs. I said, hi. Oh wait, this is their response. Lol, hold on. Let me find my original email. I emailed FedEx and said, this is in reference to an invoice I received yesterday. I don't have my invoice number on me, but I can get it for if you need it. And I said, I bought this eyeshadow palette from Morphe Brushes in the US. I understood there would be a possibility of customs and duties on receiving the item. I was, however, surprised to see an additional section for a clearance administration charge or advancement fee of $10. Since the US is outside of Canada, I of course will pay the duties, approximately $6. However, I refuse to pay the clearance admin charge of $10 since at no point was I made aware of, nor did I agree to, any terms, conditions, which clearly stated that I would be liable for any such charges. At no point in the transaction and subsequent delivery was any contract for clearance administration charge made between FedEx and myself. I paid the supplier for delivery and would expect that any international clearance fees would be factored into the initial cost of the shipment. If you want to pursue further charges for delivery or administration, I suggest you take it up with the company who shipped the goods to me. Therefore, I request you update this invoice to reflect no administration fee. Yeah, fuck you. So I sent that to them on July 20th. The same day I emailed Morphe because I was just in a fit of rage. And they emailed me back on the same day, on July 20th, and said, they said the advancement fee applies to all shipments when FedEx pays duties and taxes to the Canadian Service Border Agency on the behalf of a customer. Something I never asked you to do, you motherfuckers. The fee is based on the total amount of duties and taxes, advance, will be billed to the party. You can avoid paying the advancement fee by opening a FedEx account with a credit card free of charge. I don't ship with FedEx long enough, and how would Morphe know what my FedEx account is when it's not an option to fill that information out when I'm ordering online? Feels shady. Then they said, as a one-time exception, we will waive the advancement fee of $11.30. Please pay the $6.54 for customs and duties. So I am going to paste the template of my email in the description box below so that if you have come across this same shit, you now have an email to send to FedEx. The blog post that I read, I can't find the link anymore, but it basically said that they had used this email template multiple times and had never been denied because FedEx knows it's a shady business practice that they can't back up. They can't charge you for something you didn't agree to purchase, which makes total sense to me. So I am just enraged. One, FedEx, that's fucking shady. I know FedEx is actually closing all of its stores in Canada because they're going under. I wonder why. And two, it's shady on Morphe's part because, like I said, I am not naive enough to believe that they don't know about this. They have to know about this. I sent them a fucking email about this, and I'm sure many other customers have, and they've probably gotten fucking crickets too, which is also annoying. Reply to your fucking customers when they have a question. Like, if you had a reason to switch from USPS to FedEx, I would actually understand that. Like, USPS lost too many packages, so we switched. Or something happened, so we switched. But you just gave me no information, so I have to assume that you switched because it's fucking cheaper for you guys, and you're shady. That's it. That's all I have to understand. So I just wanted to share my experience with you guys and tell you that Morphe is shady and that if you are international, I honestly wouldn't recommend buying from them. Their fucking shipping prices were already expensive at $15, but to charge me $23 to $26 and then have FedEx charge your customers this $10 fee that I know so many people would pay because not everyone is a crazy bitch like me. It is just so disheartening to know that you would take advantage of your customers like that to both FedEx and Morphe. Like, you should have more respect for your customers. I honestly had no problems with Morphe until this purchase. Like, I like my palette. The shipping was quick, but like not worth it. I would rather have paid $15 and waited my 5 to 7 business days to get my fucking package. I just think it's shitty business practice. It's shady and you're taking advantage of your customers, and like, that's not okay. If you guys have had any similar experiences with Morphe, please share them down below. And that's my rant. It wasn't supposed to be a rant, and then it turned into a rant. It happens. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.